Hi guys, you want to start skateboarding, but you have to get your first board. There's so many options and you're overwhelmed with all these choices. Then I'm here to help. I'm Dani, skater from Hamburg, and I've been skating for 8 years. Today I will help you with choosing your very first skateboard. I will try to tell you what to watch out for so you don't waste your money. I will let you into a little secret right from the beginning. You don't need the most expensive setup. Let's get started. So there are 3 common beginner mistakes. Mistake number 1, try to avoid buying very cheap skateboards from toy stores or Amazon or Walmart or any kind of supermarket, because those boards are really low quality. They're not very fun to ride. They're even hard to ride and to learn on. The parts break very easily. Basically, they're barely skatable. Also, don't overspend on pro gear because you just want to start skating and you're not doing any crazy tricks where you need the pro gear yet. I know that you want to start skating and you want to have the best starting point. You want to have good gear that will support your progress, but I can tell you, buying expensive pro gear will only hurt your wallet. You will not feel the difference between the pro gear and the beginner setups. A normal setup will suffice for you. You can definitely save some money here. And last big mistake is choosing the wrong board for your needs. Really, depending on what discipline you want to do, you need different board setups. This brings me to the next topic. These are things that you should ask yourself first before buying a skateboard to know what you're looking out for. You should ask yourself, what kind of skating do you want to do? Do you just want to cruise around on the streets? Or do you want to do some street tricks? Like do flip tricks, or do you want to skate transition in a bowl or in a mini, or maybe you just want to learn some freestyle skating, like doing tricks stationary and a lot of balancing. So just to give you an example, if you want to do some street skating, then it makes sense to get bigger wheels, softer wheels, so you can easily roll over cracks on the street. Also, a bigger board can be very convenient to have more space for standing. And the same goes for transition skating. Softer wheels, bigger wheels, and a bigger board are easier for this discipline. But if you want to try some street skating or freestyle skating, then it makes sense to have smaller wheels, harder wheels, and a smaller board, because those smaller boards make it easier to flip the board. I'm putting some setup suggestions here for you to check out. Only use these if you're very clear on what you want to do. The second thing that you have to look out for is to check the size of the skateboard. They are usually compiled of the width. This is very dependent to individual taste. This is also very dependent on your height and your shoe size. So the smaller you are, the smaller the board should be. I'm putting down a table here with some standard sizes for standard body sizes that could make sense. For example, I'm 5'3" and I have shoe size 4 for women's. In European size it's 1.58 centimeters and shoe size 36. I started with a 775 board, but I like to have a bigger and broader board, so I'm actually skating 8.0 board width. That's what I feel comfortable with, so you should just start out with whatever makes sense at first. You could go to a skate shop and just try standing on it and check out the different sizes and see how it feels standing on those. If you feel safe, if you want it to be broader or if you want it to be smaller. Sometimes I feel like it makes sense when there is a bit of your toe and a bit of your heel hanging off of the board. This is how it is for me. The third thing to ask yourself is, one also very important point, what your budget is. So depending on your budget, you can either get a brand new skateboard or you can also look out for second-hand boards. Some skaters don't skate their boards until they break, or rarely they do, so you have a big chance to get your hands onto a second-hand skateboard which is still in pretty decent shape. Especially if you're low on budget, this can be a very good option. You can try to find these skateboards online, maybe on eBay or secondhand shops. But you can also try the skate communities. Maybe some skate shops have some leftovers, or skate schools, skate indoor parks, for example. Some places, they really have a place where skaters put their old decks for free. Really, a lot of skaters are very open to donate their good gear to someone who's starting out. They just want to support someone who wants to start and might not have the budget. Look out for how much they are used, and also look out for if they're from Walmart or supermarket, then avoid these again. Just try to get your hands on a real proper skateboard with pressed wood. Just when you look at your board and you can see those different 7 layers, then this is a good sign that you have a good skateboard there. I've put some more signs down on this list on this chart here to check out later if you need. Even if it's used, it's perfect for starters, for you to just get rolling, learn how to push, learn how to roll, learn how to turn. That's like totally enough for the beginning. And then maybe if you start learning ollies, for example, then you should watch out to find boards that still have a good back. The second cheap option that I would recommend is just getting a complete skate deck from a skate brand. There are some really good complete skateboards from Globe, Girl, or Enjoy. Just check your local skate shop. As these boards are usually a lot cheaper than building your own setup, I would definitely recommend this. Of course, you can also custom make your setup if you want and if you have the budget. So the difference between a complete skateboard and a custom-made skateboard is that with a complete skateboard, you get all the parts of one brand, even though this one brand is only specialized in mostly decks. Usually in skateboarding, you get each part from a different company that is specializing in this specific part. You would either get your trucks from this or that company, while the deck companies are different companies. Therefore, you have a more advanced setup, a very individualized setup. And these setups usually have a higher performance, but they will also be higher priced. When you start out, you're usually buying your complete deck from a deck brand. The deck should be fine, and then you can start to swap out whatever you feel like is losing quality. Well, I used to have trucks from a brand which broke after a while. Yeah, that was a sign to get good trucks, because that means that you're skating enough to be actually using all the gear. As a beginner, you don't start doing tricks like jump stairs that are hard on your bearings or grinds that are hard on your trucks. As you're hearing, there are a lot of parts in a skateboard. Just to give you a quick rundown of all the parts that I have good experience with, you have the deck, you have the trucks, then you have the bearings, and you have the wheels. So you can check out if these make sense for you. And yeah, because of the skateboarding scene, I can really encourage you to skate locally and support your local skate shop. I think that's a good place to start off to get a feeling of what you want to get. But if you have to buy online, then I would recommend Zoomies. If you're in Europe, then Skate Deluxe is also fine. I got my very first complete skate deck from Skate Deluxe, funny enough. Yeah, it was enough to start off. I was kind of shy to go to a skate shop and check out what kind of boards they had. I tried to look up online what sizes would make sense, and then I just got a very cheap, I think it was like 70 euros board online. I just started off from there, and when this board was done, I didn't have the budget, so I just got secondhand boards off from friends, mostly the decks. They just gifted me the decks, which is also very common in the skate scene, that if someone is done with their deck and they want to change, they will hand it down. Like with every hobby, I can recommend that you should check first if you even like the sport. Like, what if you just realize after buying a very expensive board that you don't even have the time or you don't even like the sport? it's not fun to you, you wasted a lot of money, right? I would say just start up with a second-hand board or a cheap board for the beginning, just to see if you like skateboarding, if it's fun for you. If you find out that you don't like it, then it wasn't that much money that you invested. But if you're really into it, then you can just start swapping out the parts bit by bit and inform yourself about the parts and what's good. So yeah, just to wrap it up, you don't need the perfect skateboard right from the beginning to start. You just need a skateboard to start learning. And now that you got your first skateboard, next up I'll have this video already posted up showing you the very first step on the skateboard. You can also do these at home if you're feeling shy or if you just want to try it out at home. If you like this video, then I'd be really happy for a like and subscribe, or feel free to share your very first deck. I'd be really happy to see those in the comments. Hope to see you in the next video. Have a good day and keep ripping.